Men, what's something a woman once said that you still think about to this day? 1. From my wife. I was putting her into hospice care because she asked me to. With all her medical problems, life had become unbearable for her. She knew she'd be cremated when she passed, so she told me, "Don't feel too bad, honey. You're soon going to have a wife with that smoking hot body you've always wanted." I loved how she kept her sense of humor right up to the end. She was such a wonderful woman. 2. Just recently, like 2 days ago, my wife said, "I'd be lost if anything ever happened to you. No one but you has been in my corner for 45 plus years. I love you so much." That's a true story. She's still the one I look forward to seeing every single day, and I still love watching her walk in front of me. 3. This past Memorial Day, I got a text saying, "I'm not happy and I'm not coming back home." That was after 28 years together. She drove to Florida, left all her belongings here, got a new job and a villa down there. No explanation, no problems in the relationship, no warning at all. 4. I took an ex-girlfriend on her first backpacking trip in the mountains. About 2 to 3 miles in, it started raining out of nowhere. I found shelter under a good tree, set up the tent and rainfly, made a small fire, and cooked us a hot meal while we waited for the rain to pass. While we were warm, dry, and eating, she said, "I can't believe you put up a tent and built a fire in the rain. That's the most attractive thing I've ever seen. You are a man." That felt amazing. 5. Because of years of drinking, my wife told me, "I can't stay with you and watch you kill yourself." Now, I've been sober for 20 years as of the 12th of August, and we've been together for 44 years. Life is good if you don't weaken. 6. She yelled at me, "Are you even listening to me?" I thought that was a strange way to start a conversation. 7. One thing that sticks with me. When I was around 25, my mom and I were talking about my marriage. My wife at the time said that for her to stay, I had to give her a nice house, a nice car, fancy clothes, and so on. My mom told me, "Son, if a woman really loved you, she would live in a cardboard box to be with you." She was right. 8. More than one girl has told me, "I feel safe with you." 9. We were at a drive-in theater, sitting in the back seat. She looked down and started laughing. I asked her what she was laughing at, and she said, "Who you gonna satisfy with that?" I said, "Me." 10. My late wife, when she was in hospice, told me, "Don't stay single forever." If you're still watching, means you're enjoying the stories. Subscribe so you can look forward to more stories like these. Now on to 11. An older gal when I was 20. You'd like us older women. We don't tell. We don't swell. And we're grateful as hell. 12. My ex-wife, whom we had 3 kids together and 14 years of marriage, was cheating on me and said, "I thought he was the one." And I realized she saw me as just a placeholder for the one she was really looking for. For laughs, she cheats on the one all the time, according to my kids. Also, when I was getting her to sign the divorce papers, she said, "I never wanted to get divorced." And I remember thinking, wow, you want me to keep supporting you financially and make sure you have a place to live while you fall in love with someone else? I kept the kids and the house, and we have a much better life now. 13. At a chance encounter 3 years later. All you had to do that night was say the word, and I was yours. 14. Right before we got divorced, I asked my ex what she needed, and she said, "You would need to change too much, but someone else will probably love you just the way you are." She was right. We are both remarried to other people for over 10 years now. My current wife and I are happy as hell, and my ex is still miserable. 15. My wife, out of nowhere, said, "You're a good man." We'll never forget that. 16. I was about to go into my double lung transplant surgery, and as I was getting wheeled out of the prep room, my wife leaned over, pressed her forehead to mine, and said through tears, "Come back to me." I did come back to her, and I will never leave. 20 years coming this October. 17. How do you know which way is north? Who told you, and who told him? 18. From my daughter, "I love you," every time I finish talking with her. 19. High school, 1972. She stayed after school to decorate for a dance. I stayed after for sports. I drove to school that day, which I didn't do often. She asked if I'd give her a ride home, not girlfriend or boyfriend. I said sure. At her house, I shut off the car and ran around to open her door. She looked me straight in the eye and said, "Thank you. No one has ever done that for me before." I thought, how could they not? That stuck with me through the years. I'm 70 now. 20? No, I don't know. Probably. It depends. I don't remember what my question was, but I definitely remember that answer covered all possibilities. 21. She always says, "I picked a winner," and I honestly can't tell if she means I'm actually a winner or if she's being sarcastic. I just take it as a win either way. 22. Protect my honor. When my wife said that, it shook me to my core. It stuck with me and shaped how I treat her ever since. 23. I'm the woman here, but my husband remembers this from when we were just coworkers. We worked at a restaurant that served a dessert called a zeppel tree. Zeppels stacked on an iron tree stand wrapped with cotton candy. I was always so excited to bring it out to guests, especially for birthdays. When he asked why, I told him, because I love seeing the joy on people's faces when they see it. I still remember the look he gave me. It might have been the first time we really held eye contact. 24. On our second or third date, my wife randomly told me she loved me. I'll never forget that night. She was so happy, and it was funny because she tried to take it back right after. 15 years and 3 kids later, we're still going strong. 25. Don't stop drinking. Just drink a little less than all your friends. You'll stand out and be the attractive one. 26. She said, "What's good for the goose is good for the gander," and winked. 27. Drive like the other drivers are crazy. That's what my stepmom told me when she was teaching me to drive. In 40 years, I've only had one accident, and it wasn't because of someone else. 28. I love how you love. I'll never forget those words. 29. Mom says you're gay. Her mother was wise beyond her years. 30. Pick the most rotten-looking pineapple at the store. She was totally right. 31. A girlfriend once told me I was too nice, and that if I wanted something, I should just take it. I was raised to respect women, and to know that no means no. 32. When me and my ex broke up, I asked for split custody of our son, since we lived very close. She told me I didn't deserve it. When I asked why, she just repeated, "You don't deserve it." 14 years later, my son lives with me, and she's completely out of his life because she turned out to be a narcissist mother. He's doing great now, but her words still stick with me. 33. A girl I went on a few dates with told me you're better on paper, and that was fine. After her, I met my wife, and we've been together almost 10 years. I'm actually thankful for that woman's blunt honesty. 34. My girlfriend once told me not to use my nails when washing my hair. Use your fingertips to scrub with shampoo instead. 35. You're not the only one who's had their heart broken. 36. My wife and I were in bed, and I was almost asleep when she said, "I'm having trouble getting to sleep. Can you talk to me for a while?" That should put me to sleep. I ended up laughing so hard that neither of us could sleep. 37. My first cougar told me, "Baby, if you ain't gonna be good, don't be long." Still some of the best advice I've ever gotten. 38. You've got really pretty feet for a guy. It's true, but it was the first and only time anyone has complimented my feet, and it came completely out of nowhere. Maybe she had a secret foot fetish? Still, it made me feel good, so I'll always remember it. 39. The one that really stuck with me came from my mother. The woman comes first in everything. Great advice to live by as a man? 40. My first fiancée was in the bathtub. She stood up, took off her engagement ring, and said, "I'm breaking up with you." Yes, she was completely naked, in her parents' bathroom. She had been late getting ready for our date, and her older sister told me I should go upstairs to see her. 41. At 6 weeks into a relationship, if you don't know this is it, break up and move on. We've been married for 16 years. 42. If you don't start playing pool like you are able to, I'm gonna quit playing with you. 43. The day after I retired, I was reading the newspaper when my wife walked in and said she was going to get lunch. I put the paper down and went into the kitchen. She was taking food out of the fridge. Then she closed the door, saw me standing there, and it suddenly hit her what having a retired husband meant. The first thing she said was, "Are you going to be here every day for the rest of my life?" 44. One day, I was feeling really self-conscious, and my fiancé lifted my chin and said, "I love all of you." 45. The night before our wedding, my soon-to-be wife told me, "This is just a chapter of our lives," and thankfully she was right. 46. I chose wrong. It should have been you. 47. I took a girl to a bar in the small town I'm from. She got loud, drank way too much, and people were watching us all night. Toward the end of the night, she looked me in the eyes and said, "You're so lucky that you're with Me tonight." She was, in fact, wrong. 48. When I was in high school, my grandmother told me, "Don't chase someone who's not willing to put the effort in and chase you back." I'm 51 now and still remember it. 49. Apparently you thought I was paying attention. 50. She said, "Don't come in my eye. I don't want to watch your kids." 51. My first serious relationship was when I was 18. She was 26 and divorced. I took her to McDonald's, and after we left, I did some cartwheels in the parking lot while a few people were watching. She laughed and said, "Why'd you do that? The food wasn't that good." I told her, "Yeah, but I know what's coming next, and I want to be stretched out." If you've never seen a gorgeous woman blush bright red, then drive fast, run a few lights, and rush to be the first in the bathroom before rocking your world, brother, You just ain't living right. 52. On our third date, my wife asked me if I was colorblind because my mom clearly never taught me how to dress. Our fourth date was her taking me shopping for approved clothes. 53. My ex told me she married me because she knew I'd never leave her. After 12 years, it nearly broke me, but I finally did leave her. Best decision I ever made. 54. In 9th grade, I finally had the guts to ask this girl out. She just said, ew. 55. My great-great-aunt once told me that a man should never have to depend on a woman for anything. That advice hits very differently at 40 plus than it did at 30. 56. I stopped loving you 10 years ago. 57. After a shower, while I was drying off, my girlfriend pointed out that guys always miss drying the middle of their back. That made me stop and think. 58. 10 years ago, a woman complimented my t-shirt. I still remember it. 59. You like the same kind of movies a 17-year-old girl likes. 60. A coworker helped make the decision to hire me at a small office. A few weeks later, she told me I was the most qualified applicant, but they almost didn't hire me because I'm white and male. I was the only white guy working there. I was 22, and that's a conversation I'll never forget. 61. I love you. I'm just not in love with you. My first girlfriend told me that over 30 years ago, and it made me never able to fully trust a woman again. I haven't had a stable relationship since, because I never want to hear that line again. 62. While working as a dishwasher at a restaurant, I told my buddy that the water was the hottest thing I'd ever had my hand in. A waitress walked by and said, "You should put it in me." 63. Oh wow, look at these, she said, grabbing my biceps while I was giving her a ride home. She knew me back when I was 18 and hadn't started going to the gym yet. Seeing me again after 6 months of progress made her say it. That was 24 years ago, and I'm still riding that high. 64. I was lying in bed with an ex-girlfriend years ago, and she asked me, "What would you do if I said I didn't want to see you anymore?" I told her, well, it's not me that has to get up, get dressed, and go home, so say whatever you want. 65. She told me, "I know you'll be a great man," right before dumping me. That line always stuck with me. I never quite reached that in terms of success, but I realized I did in how I think about life. 66. A girl once told me in my 20s that I think too much. It took me years to figure out that she actually wanted me to make a move. 67. A woman I worked with once told me she saw me outside of work in casual clothes and that I looked really good. Guys don't get many compliments like that. 68. I have a gap between my front teeth. One girl told me that when I smile, she doesn't know whether to smile back or try to kick a goal. 69. She broke up with me saying, "I'm breaking up with you because you don't know where you came from." This was right after she found out I was adopted. 70. She worked at a restaurant I went to often. She was a total 10 out of 10, and I couldn't stop staring at her. One day she said, "You're handsome." I just froze and said nothing. I swear I was the dumbest person alive in that moment. 71. My wife told me I could dress down for a night out one weekend. I did, and stupidly asked her how I looked. She said, "I told you to dress down, not dress homeless." Still makes me laugh when I think about it. 72. Back in my 20s, I was in bed with my girlfriend, right in the middle of the main event, when she farted loudly. I stopped, and there was this awkward silence until she looked at me and said, "Chinese proverb, front half so happy, back half sing." We both burst out laughing. I'll never forget it. 73. An ex-girlfriend in the 90s wrote me a letter, put it in an envelope, and then faxed the envelope to me. That's all for now. Don't forget to subscribe so I can keep bringing you more of these stories. Thanks for sticking around till the end. See you next time, and take care.